help contractors by the hundreds with all of the administrative burdens that surround handling their construction projects. That means helping them with estimating, working with them on all the administration of their supplements, and doing the administrative services back office work that enables them to focus on selling, building, and billing.
We see contractors just starting off, maybe they're struggling with the fundamentals of running a construction business. They partner up with us, their process is now defined, they're able to grow their profit margins and actually scale because they're not held back with the burden of dealing with the supplementing process. I feel proud of what we've been able to do in this industry.
This is Larry Bache with the Merlin Law Group, helping policyholders for more than 30 years. If you have a claim or your client has a claim that needs help, please feel free to call the Merlin Law Group because we are the true policyholder advocate.
C3 was eager to help us, and even whenever we weren't giving them work, they were still eager to give advice. The things that they were putting out for the changing from DMO to RFG and giving that to the industry and not charging anything for it, I thought was really cool. And that's stuff that I as a contractor appreciate. I'd recommend C3 to any contractor that's looking for a PA, especially if you're around Colorado. Great guys, man. I'm nothing but happy with the work they've done for us.
What's up, everybody? Lead meteorologist Sean Choquette here for our daily hail forecast, sponsored as always by C3 Group, Merlin Law Group, and Artist Supplement and Balance Claims. You can check them out in the description below if you're watching us here on the Hail Trace Facebook channel. So, weather headlines for today through this week. We have a couple low-end hail chances possible for the next couple of days here, and of course, I feel kind of crazy for hyping up this period of time. Where did all the activity go? We were talking about the potential for a very hyperactive period of time, and now for the next few days anyway, things are looking pretty quiet. We had a quiet weekend. This is peak season. What's going on? We're going to kind of get into it a little bit, and we also have our first tropical system of 2020, a little bit of a hint that Tropical Storm Arthur is playing a bit of a role here into why the hail season is kind of stalled out for a few days. So before we get into that, if you didn't watch on Saturday, we had our 10-year anniversary here at Hail Trace, and with that, we are releasing an 8-part mini-series. The first episode was on Saturday. It was my episode, and we have episode 2 will be coming up sometime this week. It's going to be the first person that Derek hired at Hail Trace. His name's Justin Hughes, so you can go check that out. We'll keep you updated on when that's going to come up next. So, the forecast for today, we have 2 areas of hail we're looking at. We got one on the east coast of Florida. Looks like some storms are going to form pretty much on the sea breeze front. So the sea breeze comes in, leaves a boundary basically, and there's some instability in the area. Could see $0.25 size hail. I have from Jacksonville all the way to Miami, but the best chance is probably closer to Miami. And we also have another area way up in Montana, so 2 very different parts of the country here. Could be some $0.25 size hail, places like Great Falls and Butte, and then parts of Idaho where there's town names there. I'm not entirely sure if there's actually people in them. So Butte, Helena, Great Falls, that area of western Montana is where your best chance of seeing some of that $0.25 size hail is going to be. City forecast, we're pretty much just focusing only on Miami here. 2 to 7 p.m. Eastern times with your possible chances for maybe up to $0.50 size hail. This is pretty typical of Florida around this time of year. Get those storms that pop up, and the more intense ones have a much higher chance of seeing that hail, which typically only gets to about $0.50 size. That low chance of hail there, and extremely low, almost zero chance of anything golf ball size or larger in Miami, Florida for today. Future radar in Florida here, you can see those storms forming, especially in South Florida there, where you could get, the stronger updrafts, a little bit stronger storms could see closer to that $0.50 size hail. And once the sun goes down, this really winds down quickly, as a lot of this is diurnally driven or daytime heating driven. And then also up into the Mountain West, you see a couple storms. Could be a couple potent little supercells there with that probably high quantities of hail falling upwards of $50 size. Fortunately, a lot of my antenna is prairie land, so I think the chances of a city getting hit are fairly low. Forecast for tomorrow, same basic area as today, going into Montana, parts of southern Alberta, and even into Wyoming. We could see some hail possible. Nothing too crazy. Again, another fairly quiet day, and we're gonna go into in just a second here. What is causing this? I mean, we did have very promising looking signals for some pretty intense weather, but yet it's pretty benign right now. Why is that? Well, after we get past future radar here, showing a couple storms again tomorrow in Montana. Where are the storms? So we have basically a pattern set up something like this. So we have the blue line here is going to be the jet stream right now. We have high pressure in place, essentially a giant ridge across the center of the country, and that's causing quite a bit of warm but also kind of stable air in terms of there isn't anything to trigger these storms. All the upper level forcing is way up in Canada or in the Mountain West, and then we have another trough in the east right now, and that is what's causing our problems here. So I have the little hurricane icon. That's Tropical Storm Arthur that formed the other day over the weekend, and that in addition to a cutoff low pressure system, another low pressure system in the Tennessee Valley, has sort of pinched the potential for severe weather way up into Canada and really kind of minimizing that threat for a little while. So pretty much we had where you see the L under where are the storms, that is what we're going to have push through the central and southern plains this week. Early this week, that's what we had been seeing, and unfortunately, due to a cutoff low pressure system mixed with a tropical storm a couple weeks ahead of schedule, we really kind of cut things off for a few days. But upside, it really looks like this is still a fairly progressive pattern, so it's an active pattern. We don't stall out on one particular thing, so things are looking a little bit more optimistic heading into Thursday, especially in the southern and central plains, where we could see storms returning Thursday, Friday, and then into the Memorial Day weekend, which statistically is one of the busiest times of the year. So again, we just got to get through the next few days, and I think we'll start seeing more activity southwestern Oklahoma up through the plains on Thursday, and then possibly something a little more significant going Friday through the weekend. But with how this year has been going and with some uncertainties within the models, I can't say anything for certain this far out quite yet, but there is signs that things are going to come down a little bit. We just got to get Tropical Storm Arthur out of the way. This was a screenshot here from about an hour ago of Tropical Storm Arthur. Not exactly the prettiest looking tropical system, but it's the first one of the year. It's, I think, the 6th consecutive year we have seen a tropical system before the actual start of hurricane season on June 1st. So it looks like we could have a pretty active hurricane season this year. I mean, we're in May. We're already at A here with Tropical Storm Arthur. Pretty weak, 50 mile per hour sustained winds, a lot of rain and gusty winds across the outer banks of North Carolina with this one, and it's expected to become subtropical in the next day or so as it kind of curves away from the coast and down towards Bermuda. And then once this pushes out of the way, we could see a return to a much more unstable pattern starting probably around Thursday, Friday time frame. And right now I'm thinking Thursday, unless it pushes back further, but right now I'm thinking Thursday, and then going into the Memorial Day weekend. So go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can check us out on your TV. Check out the first episode of the Hail Trace 10-year retrospective. That's available on any of the platforms you typically watch us on. It premiered on Sunday, but it's available for rewatch. And see you first on Facebook so you don't miss any of our posts, especially when we do have severe weather going on. We'll have live storm coverage, and of course follow our Instagram and our Twitter at HailTrace. So hopefully we can get some big storms to come back to the central and southern plains, even northern plains. This is that time of year as well where places like Nebraska can actually start seeing some activity really kick in some more. And give us a call, 855-334-4245. Any comments, questions, or concerns, first time with Hail Trace, need to have a training, whatever it may be, it's a great number to call. You can email us as well or visit our website for more details. So thanks for tuning in, guys. We'll see you again tomorrow at 12 p.m. like we always do. And I'll see you guys later.